Hey y'all, Jin Lee here, and this is episode 8 of the Fireside Chat, the monthly podcast that I do with resphoina, the Broadway Saiyan, and Lidz87. And this was streamed on Lidz's Twitch on May 25th. We went over how our pools have been, what we thought about all the past units recently, Dimensions and Transcendence Tier 2, as well as the May SQUEX live stream, where we go over the global first quality of life change, upcoming content, Divine Alexander, upcoming units, etc., and question and answers. This ended up being a pretty long session, but there will be timestamps below that you can follow, and you can jump to wherever you'd like. Big thanks again for everyone who joined, and shout out to all my co-firesiders, resphoina, Lidz87, and the Broadway Saiyan. Thanks everyone, and I hope you enjoy. Bye.
What's going on, guys? Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll get started in a few more, just letting viewers join us. What's up, Halcyon? Look up for Duck and 40 pull battle. Oh my. It'll be fun. If you guys have any questions for the later portion of the show, just be sure to ask, and we will try to get to them much later in the show.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
Jin's still here, right?
Yeah, I'm
oh,
He's meditating right now.
You guys don't see him?
He's actually underneath the waterfall meditating.
Look at that posture he has. All right, Jin does not move whatsoever for nobody, and he's still able to talk. He must be like a really good ventriloquist.
Probably.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Dead Silent?
A Jintriloquist.
Jintriloquist.
Ooh, there you go, a Jintriloquist.
So,
40. It's like an Ace Attorney, Ben and Triloquist.
Yes, it is.
Staring contest master. All right, let's go.
Is Jin training with Yang? Actually, is Yang training with Jin? That's the question.
Oh.
Jin is.
He made me work though, so I'm actually the one training with him. Jin made me work for him.
Jin is the sensei. I didn't even pull for Yang. Gosh damn it.
Oh, he's super fun, especially with Terra.
He looks fun. It's the abs. They intimidated me. You know, every time I see him, it's like, gosh damn, I gotta do sit-ups, man.
Did you have him on JP list?
I do have him on JP.
Yeah.
I do. I got him much later though. I didn't get him when he first came out. So.
You got him with Barrett?
Yeah, buddy. I chased him for Barrett, and then Kane blocked me once Kane got his LD. So there's that. So plan ahead, guys. Plan ahead. Okay, them double LDs, man. They're no joke. All right, shall we get started, guys?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. So welcome, guys, to another episode of the Fireside Chat, episode 8. We're calling this one the Claw, the Monk, Insane with the Hat. This is a monthly podcast for those of you that are not familiar. And it seems like we're starting to do this after the Square Enix community live stream, just so we can go some of their topics as well. So those of you new to the show, if my fellow hosts would love to introduce yourselves and if you are drinking anything.
I am drinking nothing. I am Jin Lee. I am the DFFOO godfather right now, and I am also the resident DFFOO luck sacker currently. It is causing me to become the villain of the whole community.
Okay. Rez,
I'm actually having water right now, if you can believe it. My friend was over earlier, and I made us a very strong drink called the Paper Plane, which is like almost entirely alcohol. And then I had a White Claw after that.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, I should hydrate. So I'm having good old fashioned water, which most people would be surprised to learn. Cold water is my favorite drink ever. So, yes, but I'm Rez, and I am the past, present, and future underdog. There's literally.
You sure you want to be?
I don't. But even if I'm not in the future, I've earned the title for months to come. Even if I don't end up being the underdog later on, like it's just been. Our luck has been that the gap between our luck has just been that big that I deserve that. So, yes. Cheers. Oh, and this is Teddy. Can you see him?
I see him. He's so cute. Just make the next pull battle determine the true underdog and just call it there.
No.
So
we have to take context into account.
And how about yourself, 40?
What's up, guys? This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. I am the former Godfather because I have yet to avenge my loss to Jin when we battled for Celeste LD. I will get my title back. Just you wait, Jin.
I'm just gonna ignore all the battles requests from you now, just so I can hold on to it.
Never. I'm taking that title back. What am I drinking tonight? Oh, here, this is what I'm drinking tonight. I am having Proper 12 whiskey, which is the whiskey that was created by Conor McGregor, a UFC fighter.
Nice.
I like the drink. I don't like him as a person, but I like his drink, so, you know. Other fun fact, I am not the Decidia Duck. It does seem like something I would do, but that's not me. He's actually in chat right now, and I've put my hands up while he is typing in chat, so I am not the Decidia Duck. And we are planning a pull battle, me versus the duck. So you guys wait for that, just to prove that that's not me.
With a face reveal or no for the duck? Dun dun dun.
We'll see.
Okay, looking forward to that. And me, myself, I am Lidz87, a fellow content creator of Opera Omnia. All right, guys. So it's been a month, right, since our last episode. Like I just mentioned, this is a monthly Fireside Chat podcast. How was your guys' last month? How was the previous month? How was your polls? Anything memorable? Anything exciting happened within the last month in terms of polling? The details, guys, details. How did it go?
I feel like people don't want to hear me complain anymore.
It's okay. You can do that.
I feel like people don't want to hear about my pools either. My pools are just like, they've just been like almost too good that I don't even want to post them anymore. Like when I like get the weapon, I'm just like, oh my god, people are gonna hate me. But essentially, it's been pretty good. I didn't get Terra Burst though. I did want to get Terra Burst, but I didn't get.
Get out!
I did get.
You are not complaining about that. You shit talked her all last stream. You've only used her in one Lithenia. Get out.
Yeah. Well, I did advise not to chase her burst, and I didn't chase her burst. I followed my own advice, and I advised people to go for Garland instead. And I fortunately also got Garland burst.
That's great advice, dude. That's great advice.
And so I saved the 50 burst tokens there.
Nice.
Definitely very happy with my pools. Rez can share her great pools, recently great pools.
Yeah, finally my luck is starting to turn around, but Jesus fucking Christ, the last 3 months have just been, oh my god, I calculated it. I think it ended up being like 2,500 tickets for like
Holy
4
crap.
LDs or something.
Wow.
And so many banners that I spent over 300 tickets on and didn't get anything. And then it's now been 53 multis since I've gotten a burst, which was last on Aerith's banner. So really hoping that I didn't get Garland burst, which is fine. It would have been nice to get it on the way to nearly pitying the LD, but I unfortunately did not get it. But I'm gemming Swole Bez, so hopefully I can get it there. But yeah, the last like 3 months of pulls for me have just been absolute trash, and everybody's probably sick of me complaining about it. So
that's okay. It's content. People go to watch the content, right? So that's fine. It's okay.
Love salt.
But it's on. It's starting to turn around. It gave me a little bit of a tease with Trey and Tara and Mog, and then it just like dipped way back down. So really hoping that it's not a fluke.
I've definitely pitied Predator. I've pitied plenty. Just not recently, that's all.
Yeah, when was your last pity,
I was just
Jen?
about to ask.
Like
My
Balthier?
last pity? I think it was Balthier.
I thought it would have been rude.
What was that, like 3 months ago?
No, Balthier was after Rude.
Rude.
I mean, Balthier was the anniversary, yeah.
Yeah,
so it was February.
was 4 months ago, 5 months
But
ago.
it's not like I don't do that many gem pools though. It's mostly tickets. I've only done the amount of gem pools I've done is like count it on my hand.
Yeah, so here's something that Jen and I discovered recently. So Jen and I have pulled on all of the same banners with gems since Kuja. The only one that I pulled on with gems like that, besides Young recently, but the only one that we pulled on with gems that was different was I used gems on Tara's LD banner, but I get premium Mog Pass, Jin doesn't, and that equates to like the extra gems that I've gotten from that equal the amount that I spent on Tara's banner. I have from our Kuja round 1 battle, even though Jin and I have only gemmed the exact same banners, I have about 65k gems more than I did back in November, and Jin now has like 250,000 more gems than he did back in November, and we've gemmed all the same banners. So that should, I love you, Jin, but yes, we've both gemmed the exact same banners, and yet.
What are you still the underdog? How about yourself, 40? How's your pull luck the past month?
It's been either very high or very low. So the highlight so far was that free multi on Seven's LD banner with Garland's Burst, where I pulled 2 Garland Bursts. Like I thought I only pulled 1 because like it started off as a burst orb, and I was like super excited, and then people in chat were all like, "You got 2," and I was like, "Wait, seriously?" And I look, and that just blew me away. Like that was insane.
That was insane.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
How does that even?
It's on
I missed the
YouTube.
video.
I put it on YouTube. That was nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. Like I've never had that happen before. And then afterwards, I've had my massive lows, which was the recent one was Ferris, because I had 200 tickets left and spent all 200 tickets and didn't get it. And then I ended up pitying her LD off camera. So it's been up and down for me. Really good RNG, really bad RNG, but DFFOO still has the best gotcha system. So
yeah,
yes,
I'm grateful for that. So
I agree. And you know, it'd be like that. You know, it's a gotcha game.
Mhm.
RNG goes up and down for everybody. You know, so like who did I get? I got Garland's burst weapon off of tickets. I forgot whose LD I got right after. I think it was Ignis. Like literally the next ticket multi-draw. Like it all happened during the same pull session, and then I had to pity Ferris's LD weapon. The pirate stole my gems. You know, it is what it is, but that's fine. She was worth it. I was planning on throwing gems for her, but I didn't think she would take that many. So that might alternate my pull plans for some of the upcoming characters. So there goes my 700k dream. One day we'll be a part of the 1 million gem dream. That'd be nice. Club, I should say.
Oh man, I would love that.
I'm about to enter it.
Yet?
Hmm?
I mean, with Alexander, with my uncollected gems probably already, but with Alexander for sure. Anyway, you know, it's a hard life saving all that much.
I feel.
But
like
how are you guys? How are you all liking the characters you have pulled?
Nice segue.
I know.
That was a good segue.
that was an excellent segue.
I'm having so much fucking fun with Tara. She is a dream. I fucking love her. She's a queen. She's everything that I wanted her to be and more. And I'm just having so much fun with her. And I'm so glad that I got Yang. For those that don't know, I went back into the banner, and before the community stream yesterday, I was like, fuck it, we're going gems. I'd made the decision the night before. But luckily we only had to do one more multi. A little annoying since I spent like 350 tickets on him, but I'm so glad that I didn't have to then pity him afterwards. So I've already done a couple fights with Tara, Young, and Sarah, and I just having so much fun. Oh my god, it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I've done a couple with my girl power team, which is Tara, Celis, and Aerith, all of my like fully like full sphered girls. And then team comps with Tara and Mog are just so fucking cute. I love it. It makes me so happy.
Do you take the Mog summon?
No.
No.
I gotta do that though. I should do that.
Not a true fan then until we see that Mog summon run.
But I am finding like Mog, I know that a lot of people are like, eh. I'm finding him to be super useful. Like he's very versatile. He's fit in. I've used him in like 2 or 3 Lufenias so far, one where he wasn't even boosted, and like he's a lot of fun and he does a lot, and he's like really clutch, especially I know for the recent Abyss, a lot of people were kind of upset because it almost required him, but yeah.
Sorry for the interrupt. Slim with the sub. Thank you, fam. Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Nice.
But no, Mog is great. I love Mog. He's adorable.
Yeah, Mog has been my secret enjoyment unit lately as well, because I wasn't really planning on having him, but I went for him just because he's a cute little small boy. And yeah, I mean, he does kind of cover all the roles you kind of need. He doesn't do everything amazing, but he's very solid as a unit that you can pair other units.
Yeah, I agree. I like him for what he is. I think the one thing that I wish he had was a double HP dump during his animations, because sometimes he brave leaks a lot.
Oh my god, EX needs a double HP dump.
Yeah, his
EX is kind of a yeah. He's always like swinging his little axe around at max.
Yeah.
But I think it's split HP though, so it does like carry over.
No, EX is total HP. Hi,
Edge, what do you think about Mog, bud? Have you been using him lately?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, he wants to say good night, so that's why.
Good night,
What's up, buddy?
Can you say bye? Can you say bye to everyone?
Hi. Adorable. Wait, who's your favorite character? Sephiroth, right? Come on.
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah.
Vivi?
There you go. Nice. Adorable. I was actually thinking about this one.
That's the Dissidia duck right there.
There
Edge.
You go.
We knew it.
Oh.
He's been up all this time.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's why they haven't been typing. I'm just kidding. But I think one character that I like what they do, but I tried them out and I was like, yeah, it was Dash for me. Like I'm not that crazy about Dash. Again, like I like what he does, right? Enhancing your party with thunder resist down, increasing your party's elemental weakness damage, lowering their damage resist, or increasing their damage resistance to both physical and melee, or physical and magic. But I was taking him onto a stage and I was like, I don't know.
I mean, it's a little unfair to talk about Dash in that sense because he's just kind of a returning character with his LD. He's kind of like,
of course,
the way Amaditalian was, and like Gao and all of them, they return.
But I love Gao. Dash is just.
But Gao is pretty good. Yeah.
Gao's great.
Dash is. I think Dash is pretty good though.
Yeah, he's fine.
But you have to kind of know the fight because of the way that he's built. You have to know if it's like physical attack coming or magic attack coming.
Oh, I just brought RNA and delayed the shit out of the dragons, and I didn't even need Dash. So
yeah, if you're only bringing him for like the enchant, then he's kind of. I mean, he's okay.
Right.
But he's actually really good for a defensive unit.
Yeah, I'm using him. I got him on the way. Like I was really mad at him because I got 2 LD trying to get Yang LD, and I'm enjoying him more than I thought I did. I used him in the challenge quest for something recently, and I ended up it was the Transcendence challenge quest or whatever.
Shit.
And I completely forgot that the birds at the end, they like turn healing into poison, and so I just straight up couldn't use I didn't want to use any of Dash's skills because I also couldn't remember like how much HP they healed, and I didn't want to have to redo everything. So I was just like literally doing brave and HP attacks with him because I didn't want to keep using his LD. But yeah, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed using him. Other than that,
I would use him if you need a healer and a defensive unit that enchants your party. Otherwise, he's kind of meh. He was a lot better when he was released, and he was very useful for a long time. So he's kind of a little bit past his prime now.
Yeah, and that's gonna be like I know I like to tell some of my viewers too is that a lot of the upcoming Lost chapters, they're going to focus on the second character's gimmicks rather than the actual characters' Lost chapters. So don't expect some of these returning, or those that still need boards, but don't expect a lot of these other Lost chapter characters to receive really anything, at least until a much later portion in the game. I guess once they start introducing new weapons or something along the lines of that, at least on the JP side. So it is what it is. How about yourself, Woody? Who you been enjoying?
Terra and Young combos super fun and trivializes a lot of current content right now if you play it properly. A character that I've actually been using a lot more is Celeste. Like I actually really enjoy using her. She's fun. Her trap like triggers and heals you. She draws.
Good.
Yeah, she is. She's so good, and I really enjoy using her. Mog. Yes, I'm having a lot of fun with him. I think that he's underrated. He fulfills multiple roles, like we've talked about. Maybe not better than like a unit that actually specializes in it, but he covers so many things that, the versatility can get you through a lot of different, a lot of difficult fights, and that confuse can really come into clutch when he does the follow-up plasma. It's very, very clutch if it can actually inflict. I think it's like 30%, which is not bad considering that it's a debuff that prevents an action. But yeah, no, that's a character. Those are the characters right now that I'm having fun with. Garland, he's cool. Everyone was like planning for him mostly because of how good he is now, especially with LD boards and his burst. His burst effect as a friend unit and as an in-party unit is awesome. So I think he's pretty cool to use too. But yeah, the characters I've been having fun with is Celeste, Mog, Terra, Young combo, super fun. Sarah even, Sarah now
Sarah
being
even that should be Sarah number 1. Sarah is so good.
Sarah's tight. I've just been having a blast at like using some of these characters that I didn't really use as nearly as often on JP. So I'm having a blast. Yep.
Mog's confusion is actually quite good when if you run him with like Garland, for example, all the delays will give him so many chances to confuse.
Oh yeah.
And if you view it as like a bonus rather than something to try to rely on, it's like, don't think of it as, oh, there's a chance that this could proc and I need it to. It's like, it's an already, solid follow-up. It's just like, oh, and there's a possibility of it being able to confuse.
And look, it just triggered. Yes, the enemy's not going to do anything. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's like a hyped up moment, and there goes a little bit less luck for your next banner. So, just saying. Just saying. I've been enjoying Terra more. I mean, does that mean I want her burst? No, but I definitely have been enjoying her a little bit more on the global side of the game, especially now that, like you guys with the wonderful Sarah, yes, our number one debuffing support or a character. Yes, the number one girl, just pairing them on the same damn team and just watching Terra go ham. It's pretty nice. During her LD phase is what I mean to say. So I've been using, Terras with their burst weapon, so that's pretty nice. But no, Terra's great. Terra's nice. Terra's awesome. So
the reason Rez gets on me for not using Terra like only once, but
I know why
you don't I haven't used it. Yeah, but for others, like the reason I haven't used her is just because she's so ridiculously good. Like come on, girl, what? Calm down. You take like 5 turns in a row and dealing so much damage, and with like HP damage up and like Yang, obviously, it's just like
it's great.
I accept this reasoning.
She's too much of a queen. All right, Riz. There you go.
I accept this reasoning.
Just imagine when she gets a burst plus.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited already. Holy shit. That's also another reason why I'm not certain if I'm gonna token Garland yet. Like I'm gonna be trying to use Terra burst in as much content as possible, and obviously she's magic, he's melee, but I realize that my priority right now is to bring Terra to as many Lufenias as possible and use her burst in as many situations as possible. So, it could be that in a couple weeks I'll just be like, nope, I want to get Garland. Because, I've brought friend unit Garlands and he's a fucking monster. And I would
That's a
have
beast.
loved to have gotten him, but I'm probably gonna hold off a little bit on tokening.
Yeah, Garland's an
Yeah.
absolute beast. Oh my gosh.
He's a monster. I'm having a lot of
Mhm.
fun.
He was
with him,
essentially
just
like
because
he's
I'll
like
be-
a meta pool for me. I mentioned before. It's just
Mhm.
like because that kind of like the delay style is not like it's not like my favorite kind of way to play, like delay the boss, which
Mhm.
he's like just a monster at with his burst, because obviously during his burst they're continuously delayed. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then if you combine that with Friend Garland, his burst effect is one of the best ones.
That's pretty sweet. And his EX ability ages pretty nicely because it's got multiple HP dumps in the
Yeah.
process, which is,
Mhm.
again, it's going to just scale off of his, own brave damage and all that. So, yeah.
You can do over like 500,000 with like HP damage up and starting with enough brave.
So, yeah. No, he's a solid DPS. He becomes a burst plus character with a rework. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So if you guys have him already, you guys already have a future investment. So there you go. I love his anime. Yeah.
I love the plus eras where you already have a unit and all you gotta do is plus them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing too, that especially like a lot of players should take into consideration is like some of these burst plus characters, look at some of these other their banner mates to see who's going to be repeating with them and decide, like, for example, like the upcoming Bartz, right? Bartz is going to debut with his LDM burst weapon, but do you guys want to pick him up now, right? Who's with him? Is that Tifa? No, Tifa's
Tifa's
yeah,
with him.
Tifa's with him. Do you guys
Tifa.
do you guys want to chase on Tifa's banner, or do you guys want to wait until his LD and Burst come back alongside Ferris later down the line? So, decisions. We need more gems.
It depends, like, because usually when they return, they're with another burst, right? So like
Right.
people can say they want to wait for Yushtola, but are you pulling for Yushtola at the time, or are you pulling for Zidane? So it's unless you're pulling for both, you got to be pretty gem rich.
And it's two different banners, right?
Yes.
It is two different banners, so it's not gonna like they're not gonna
Right.
overlap on the same banner. So you
Mhm.
have to choose at the next time down the line.
So Bartz is with holy crap, Bartz is with Ace. So that is the other his
Yeah,
burst banner on the other one is
Yeah.
gonna be Ace, and holy shit, Ace can dish out a lot of damage. But
I'm almost tempted to avoid just using any tickets on Bartz's banner because I was planning on ticketing it. But if I'm gemming, and I am gemming Tifa's banner cosplay stream hype,
woo-hoo.
I'm gemming Tifa's banner, and if I get the burst along the way, then I'm just gonna need to go gems to get Bart's LD anyway. And if I don't have it at that point after spending a bunch of tickets, then it's another loss. But it's hard to say because I could get the LD off tickets, but it doesn't
Mhm.
seem like we're unfortunately getting any free pulls. So
No, at least not until the summer festival. I think they said and more.
Mm-hmm.
It's and more on the
Festival.
slide.
Rip.
Yeah, that's a tough decision. I usually won't like it. It depends on if you're going for the burst or not. Then you should gem the LD.
Yeah.
But if you're not going for the burst, you can get Tifa's LD and not get the burst anyway. So
Mhm.
it is tough to I don't know if you can possibly wait until Tifa's banner to take it or gem bars. I don't think you can, but yeah, that's.
You should be
Mhm.
able to. Like, I mean,
I'm talking about you personally.
Oh.
Oh,
if you
that
can wait,
hurt.
that'd be good.
Oh,
If you
that
can wait,
hurt.
that'd be good.
That hurts because it's so true. That hurts because it's true.
But yeah,
Halcyon will really need to, if I do stick to that plan, Halcyon will very much need to help.
Oh, here, I have the best advice ever. If you need to save, all right, listen, delete the app, but make sure everything is, backed up, linked to whatever. Okay. Once that character is gone, re-download the damn game, and there you go. You just saved yourself a bunch of gems. Easy. It's that simple. It's that simple. Okay. So hopefully some of you guys can implement that with your saving needs, and there we go.
but like for example, let me give a kind of a like example. Like for like Yang pools, I missed him after 200 tickets, right? So I just let his banner be, and then I wanted to see how Ferris goes first. And if Ferris went well, so then I went back to his banner and I got him then. And if I didn't get him, then I would have stopped. It's just you can try a little bit at first, but then just completely stop. And then if you get it on Tifa, the burst, then you can go back and gem it. That's kind of how I would do it.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. I have the right mindset going into it. The whole problem is, am I gonna actually be able to do it? That's the big problem.
That is the question.
And then that's when we watch Jin Lee's video about saving and budgeting and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, all right, guys. So, how about that Dimensions and Transcendence? I already see Rez like glaring. Like, have you guys done it?
Oh no, I have something in my eye.
Oh.
I actually did do the right Crucible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did it on stream. It was my second ever Livenia on stream.
Oh, very nice. All right, how'd it go for you guys? How'd it go for you, man? Did you do it?
I haven't done Reckoning yet. I did the left and right Crucible last night on stream, and I plan on doing Reckoning literally right after Fireside Chat because I'll be live. Yeah, so I haven't touched it yet, but
who have you used?
Who have I used? On the left, I used Garland, Ferris, and who's the other character that I used? I'm trying to remember from last night. Was it Aerith? I think it was Aerith. Yeah, I think it was.
On the left?
And on the left.
On the left.
The one with
with the wolves?
Yeah, with the wolves. And then on the right, I used Terra, Young, and Mog.
Oh, you went the destruction route. All right.
Yeah, I did.
Because Ferris and Aerith are actually really good. Ferris and Aerith are really good for the right section.
Yeah, I didn't have Young at that point, so I used Terra, Ferris, and Kryl.
I'm trying to remember who I used. So the left one, I used Garland, Celeste, and Terra, and I know that the big Papa Wolf gets like some kind of magic brave reduction thing, and Terra was hitting for 1 brave damage, but that's okay because I was using the little baby wolves to get them brave hits and scale up Terra's HP damage, so there was that. But I was still able to do it with that team, surprisingly. So it worked out one way or another. The right Crucible, that one was Ignis, Ferris, and I think Squall.
Ooh.
I think that's who I used. Squall's a beast. Holy
nice.
I'll double check.
Yeah, when he's enchanted, I mean that would work really well.
Oh my gosh, he does so much damage. He's still great, guys. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Squall's an excellent unit.
I think Ignis is kind of slept on because he's a great support with the auras, and
I would have loved to have gotten
that enchant, fire enchant.
Yes, he's. I think he's very underrated.
I agree. I know I'm talking about characters we've been enjoying. I've been enjoying Ignis more on the global side of the game compared to JP. Yeah, no, he's great. He's great support, and then his call action is going to come in very handy for a very long time. So,
yeah, him and Kryl. Kryl has been very useful as a call action for like his Transcendence.
Have you guys seen any interesting party runs for the tier 2 of the Transcendence? I know I saw someone use like Emperor on the final one, so that was pretty interesting. What was it, Reckoning? So
I think that was Aralai from TCC. I think I know that she said that she used Emperor, and then Jin, you used Vincent, right?
I did,
Vincent?
yeah. I used Vincent.
Vincent, a good boy.
Wait,
like for the tier 1, I used Vincent, right? And then people were saying that they wanted to see me if I could use Vincent on tier 2. So I actually went ahead and did that before my Ferris pools.
Wow.
And I used Vincent for the right Crucible. I used him with Lightning and Mog. And I just did a no boss turn run.
Nice.
And then the left, I used Garland and Ernea, which are just OP delayers. So then I just had Charlotta as a third unit just to give the HP damage up, since she's just gonna stand there. And then for the Reckoning, I did go with I wanted to make sure I used Vincent, even though I could have used like Garland Lightning, but I used Garland, Vincent, and Mog, which is why I've been loving Mog, because
he's such a good boy.
He's such a good boy. And then even though like the last wave, it was so frustrating that his HP regen kept taking away all my health.
That's right.
And so after 30% health, they go into their white forms. And TCC and we found out that it ends up stacking like both of their forms. So like instead of waiting like the normal like 10 turns or whatever, you end up waiting like 20 turns to actually be able to heal yourself. So like the trouble I was having was killing them, keeping them alive before I could like heal myself, you know? Like I needed to heal myself and I kept killing them. Like they had very little health left. And then one of my failed runs, my pestle call didn't heal me before he killed them. So yeah, I had to run that 3 times just because of the HP regen issue. But yeah, Mog is a good boy. Vincent's a good boy.
Who did you then end up using in Transcendence 1 to be able to use Vincent in Transcendence 2?
Oh, I just stuck in the person that's supposed to be Gabron.
Nice.
But then I went ahead and I did free up on my right Crucible. I did free up Lightning because I want to keep her burst for later.
Mm-hmm.
So then I ended up using Ferris, Vincent, and Mog. So it was just an LD only run. With 3 characters that people generally hate on, they were able to do an LD only run of the Transcendence.
Haters. Jeez.
Haters.
Vincent's the best.
But yeah, Vincent has proved to be a great damage dealer. He pretty much carried the damage of that team. Since Ferris, people are quite surprised at how low Ferris's damage is, especially her skill 1. She needs the battery.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But she's mainly there for her debuffs.
Right.
Debuffs her.
Which are really good.
Oh yeah.
Even up to now. Yeah.
And with Vincent, actually, I mean, her attack down is like 70% or something, but Vincent, his is 90. You can actually, Vincent can override Ferris's,
right?
Yeah, and it becomes a framed attack down from Vincent, so it's pretty amazing. They actually paired.
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say it was great pairing, but they actually work really well together. But it's unnecessary, is what I say. You don't need 2 strong debuffers together, but it works.
You gotta shut them down, man. You gotta shut down these bosses, all right?
Yeah. Especially with like 8 debuff slots later. I mean, technically they could really shut them down when you have all of the debuffs on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I was thinking, I guess I was being hopeful. I'm like, I'm curious if they would introduce those 8 debuff slots when Ferris would get her LD. I was wondering if they would. I could have seen that happen, but since they didn't, so yeah, we'll have to wait until El Nacho for that to happen. Because I'm like, gosh, damn, could you imagine all the things we could do if that got introduced early?
Oh man,
and that's like in a month, right?
I believe like 2 months, maybe.
About 2 months.
Isn't El Nacho right after Bart's?
Yeah.
Is
so
he?
That's a month.
Wait, hold on. Let me. Oh, the damn
Isn't he?
He should be in July, so 2 months from now. We're not in June. Yeah, so
we're in June in a week.
But we're not in June yet.
I know, but 2 months from now will be almost August.
No me grites. Hi. But okay, so end of June, early July. That's when we'll see El Nacho, and that's when we see the debuff slot increases. So that'll be very interesting.
Actually, Ferris and Vincent, there you go. And then you could bring a disgusting 3rd unit, I guess.
Caius, he's got a lot of debuffs. Remember the Italian? She's got a lot of debuffs. There you go. So
her debuffs are not great though. They're not good. They're just good for filling up slots. She has a lot of debuffs.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like using her anymore. Not even as
I used her call to prevent them from buffing the last wave of Reckoning. I used her call to prevent them from buffing themselves because I didn't have Ferris, or I didn't use Ferris.
Now, did you guys on the very last wave of Reckoning, or not the last wave, on Reckoning, did you guys have more difficulty on one of the waves compared to the other ones?
For my team, just the 3rd wave with the HP regen was causing me issues. The first 2, they were pretty much shut down or delayed, so it wasn't too much of an issue. I think it really depends on what team you bring.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it yet on Global because I plan on doing it tonight. But like speaking from when I did it on JP, I think the challenge was skill management. It
is a long fight for sure.
Yeah, it is very long, and I think the second wave, For me, if I remember, when I remember doing it on JP, the second wave was probably the one that was the most tedious because the boss revives, and then if you let that boss take a turn, it's like a 300,000 HP regen, and it's super annoying.
That's a lot.
So it's like you have to burn either your summon or your burst, and if you're using Garland, you probably want to burn that burst there, so then that way you're going to delay that purple Phoenix and just make sure it does not take a turn, because it's just going to eat up your skills, your buffs are going to run out, and yeah, it just makes it really, really annoying for the third wave. Third wave is actually not too bad. Actually, all the bosses don't have a lot of HP compared to some of the other Lufenias. I think it balances itself out because it's 3 waves, but that second wave is probably was probably the most annoying one for me. So
unless you have a high damage team, you're still gonna have to use like HP plus every now and then with Garland or something. I did burst on the resurrection on the second wave just to so he wouldn't act. But it's actually, I mean, if you do that, the wave is actually pretty easy, because the first part of he's not really doing anything. You can conserve your skills a bit more. And I don't know if people are using Vincent, but the first wave, they do a lot of HP attacks, and so I didn't have issue because they were kind of neutered because of Vincent, but otherwise you do have to make sure you have an elemental enchanter, and you have to watch out for all their HP attacks.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. For the first wave, yeah, they're like back-to-back AoEs. Like, I survived the first one, and then the other one acted like right behind it, and I was like, gosh damn it. And then I know with the birds, when they do their piano attack, when they drop their piano notes from the sky, they acted back-to-back. That shit hurt, man. But yeah, no, probably for me, I think just the first wave with that back-to-back like AoE, I had to try to plan around it, delay one of them, try to position Ignis between them, heal up, but it wasn't too bad. I still believe that the first one was a pain, even with like the recommended units. At least for me, it was rough. It was a rough one for sure.
I gotta say it, man. Vincent OP. Both times I ran it very smooth.
Oof.
Tier 1, Tier 2. It's just because of the fact that his attack down debuff just makes him a tank. And like, so the first wave, I had no issues. Any HP attack is just kind of like a minor issue. And yeah, it's just nothing accounts for him. Nothing accounts for him because he's a global first. So that's why they might have, if he was on JP timeline, they might have made them immune to attack down or something. I don't know, like, but since he's not accounted for, it just makes life pretty damn easy.
Which some bosses do have, but like you said, it's not a common.
It's very
resistance.
rare. It's very rare.
It's not a common resistance, so he can't fit into a lot of team compositions. And the fact that he does 2 elemental types, while inflicting those elemental resists down. I mean, even if he's resisted, just use the other one, or just he
happened to fulfill like tons of orbs, like the elemental orb. He fulfills a debuff orb, and then in the tier 1 he fulfilled the debuff orb, and yeah.
So yeah,
very interesting how he fulfilled the orbs. It was very worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, so that's great. No, Vincent's great, and I cannot wait to see him finally transform into chaos once he gets his burst weapon later down the line. It's gonna be great.
That would be so hype.
Oh. I was still like really hyped up when they revealed that trailer about Vincent. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be going into his chaos. Gosh damn it.
That was they faked us out on that one.
They did for sure.
I'm more excited for Sarah's burst now. Actually, Sarah was just like so good that I didn't even want to use her because I'll just save her for later.
So wow. So are you guys those types of players that don't like to use absolutely busted units to give yourselves a challenge?
I think that's just me.
That's just you
in the group.
Resin
I like to use my faves as much as possible, and if I have to use like a super meta unit in order to make me be able to use my faves more realistically, then I'll do it. But otherwise, I try to just use my faves in as many team comps as possible.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I didn't need to free lightning, but I did like the fact that I only have 1 burst used in both tiers, so I like to have. I don't know. That's why I ended up doing entropy. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm doing it again. Where I'm gonna end up with a bunch of unused bursts probably, but
how about yourself?
I have fun doing it at least.
Me, I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
Sometimes it also depends on my mood too. I'm like, do I want to have fun and like be experimental, or do I want to avoid the stress and just completely crush the content right away and not have to worry about it? I think right now I've been more so on the experimental side on JP with like the whole Lufenia Plus and stuff. Like it's been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Like trying out different comps there. But it's getting to it's I'm already at that point too, but just not more so on the global side. But it is fun to experiment and see, oh, can this older character actually do this, or can they hang, you know? But like I said, it just depends for me on, you know, how long do I want to spend on a fight? Do I want to just get it over with right away? But it is fun to experiment. It is. It's like, oh, you know, because there's just so many characters in this game. So it's you know, there's the creativity it's there. You just have to plan around it and understand the fight and kind of pick and choose what could and couldn't work. So yeah, but I'm in the
I
middle.
wouldn't say like I'm like struggling like hard. It's mainly I'm trying out teams that I think will be fun, that will work, but not completely like synergy stomp is kind of the thing I kind of try to avoid.
Mhm.
But otherwise, it's not like I'm like handicapping myself, because yeah, I did use Garland Burst obviously for Transcendence, and it's really big. It's really useful for that.
Right.
Yeah, 40. I agree with you there, because like everybody knows how much I procrastinate. So when I've got like, you know, a day left on the Lufenia and I still have a lot of stuff to do, I'll usually just end up asking like Halcyon or Jen or something like, give me the team comp that will absolutely destroy this fight without me having to think that much, because I don't want to have to think about it right now. Because everything is stressful and I just want to be able to complete this fight. So I don't think there's any shame in like just meta stomping a fight.
There's nothing
Not
wrong.
at all.
But when you do want to have fun with it, you can do it. But absolutely, like if you want to just like meta stomp a fight, then do it, because I absolutely do that all the time.
So just ask yourself this going forward. Is it a boss fight, and does it resist or absorb thunder? Because obviously just take lightning and there you go. You'll steamroll it. Easy.
She's ridiculous.
She is. I'm on the same page as 40. Sometimes I like being experimental. Other times I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to have too much fun with this. I'm not going to bring Fang and Zell along with like lightning on the same damn team composition. That's not me. I'm done. So, you know, sometimes I just want to
That's carrying though. That's carrying. Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference between carrying and just like something that works really well but isn't. Like, for example, when I bring like Garland and Charlotta is a very old unit, but she really helps Garland because of all his.
So you're saying she's carrying like, Garland?
Yeah, right. She's the one that's the OP unit.
Literally carrying him on her.
Charlotta's carrying.
Charlotta's strong, and that's the beautiful thing I love about this game. You know, compared to like other games, is that this game, like it comes down to team compositions, and that becomes more true as we progress. Like maybe not at first during Lufenia Plus, it might be rough. Like I always say, is I have a little bit more faith in the global side, just because we know what's heading our way, and I know there's a lot more players that tend to be a little bit more experimental. But as we progress, just if you put together the proper team composition, you can make some of these outdated units work. Because I believe I know Jen was saying like they got carried, but I believe it was Stimpy on the JP side that they used Fang in Lufenia Plus. Of course, it was Vanille with her LD and Lightning when she had her Burst Plus, but still, you know, just seeing Fang used in Lufenia Plus, that's crazy. And she has yet to receive love ever since like.
I'm all for it. As long as they're bringing something. As long as they're bringing something and not just doing like one damage for nothing.
No, they were like Fang. Like she wasn't like maxing out her Brave damage fully, but she wasn't hitting like one Brave damage either, how you would expect in a Lufenia Plus for an outdated unit. Like she was actually doing some. She does have damage.
That OP additional ability, kind of.
What was it? Wasn't it like HP damage up during?
It's HP damage up for like everyone.
For everyone, not just a chase, right?
Yeah.
And what's the percentage?
Wasn't it 20?
It's been like so long since I've looked up anything about Fang.
10, 20?
Wait, who's Fang?
I think originally it was meant for just her, but then it's actually ended up being for everybody.
Oh, not Yang.
It's party HP damage up 20% for 3 turns.
So it is 20%.
Shout out to the
okay.
Tunbury troop, yeah.
I thought it was 20%. Y'all were making me.
Yeah, so it's just damage up all the time for 20%. Yeah, for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, so it's
pretty
good.
OP.
It's pretty good. So. All right, guys. So so we had the most recent Square Enix community live stream. What's today? Yesterday? Yeah, right. Today's
Yeah,
Tuesday.
oh my God, it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Damn, it already felt like a few days already. So we're actually receiving a global first quality of life change, and that's going to be being able to limit break your gear in the actual exchange shop. What do you guys think about that one?
Hype.
Amazing.
Holy crap!
It's amazing.
JP doesn't have that, right?
No,
they
It's
don't.
a global first quality of life. Love it.
Yes, and that's a good one. I love that, especially during slow server nights. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I want to work on these characters' armors, and it takes like 5 minutes just to go into the menu, into the exchange shop, and then go back into the enhancement menus, and then I got to go back like 3 more times. Gosh damn! So this is a great quality of life change. It's crazy. Something so simple. Makes a huge difference. Now, that this also applies to the weapon exchange shop, right? Because this is a quality of life first, and on the slide it says power/guard. So I'm assuming.
I believe so. Yeah, it should.
Okay.
Yeah, if the slide states that, yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good one. Shows that they listen to their community, because I'm pretty sure this was suggested before, and they implemented it. You know, and I'm sure that Global takes a look at like what's not working on JP and kind of works to fixing it, which is why I always say all these other mobile games can learn a lot from DFFOO. They can learn a lot from DFFOO.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think they have, because I know.
It depends. Like,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you first.
Well, it depends on if the actual like game actually cares about their global version. Because sometimes they just focus on their Japanese version because that's the one that's making more money, and then the global version is just a side chick or whatever. But DFFOO really looks out for global really well, which is
yeah, that's great. That's great, and I really hope this game goes on for like at least like 20 years. At least we're gonna be like 60, and we're still gonna be talking about Opera Omnia. So, and characters are still gonna be introduced to the game. Maybe by then, Nanaki will finally be introduced.
We'll have our 3rd tactics character.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about? Balthier, that Balthier costume totally counts.
But see, you gotta buy the costume though for him to be. Well, if that's the case, then technically Cloud then. So we have 4 because Cloud was in tactics.
I've actually never played Balthier in tactics. I know was he in War of the Lions, right? I never actually played War of the Lions.
He was War. I played the OG one, so I wasn't familiar with Balthier being in that game. So
yeah, same. But OG one all the way.
Gosh damn. All right, if they were to introduce one tactics character, who would you guys want it to be? You guys get to pick.
I mean, you could say like
nope, pick one.
You could say like the I mean, everyone's gonna say like TJ Orlando, but I would have to go with like Beowulf. I loved his
good choice.
Kit. Because if they can have him like with like Rhea the dragon and stuff, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But then I hope like Delita gets like spoilers. I mean like
no spoilers. I haven't played it yet.
We need the villain. We need the villain. Well, we need the villain burst. We need a villain burst.
The game has been.
Eventually, we're gonna need a villain burst.
I know.
And hopefully, it's not Arga.
I can demand people conform to my spoiler rules.
Just give us Delita, give us Thunder God Sit, and give us Gefgarian, and we're fine.
You know, if
you like
I had
Gefgarian? That dude.
Gefgarian? He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
There's only one character that I hate in tactics. Like same hatred as. Yeah, I think everyone hates this character
as much
though.
As I hate Seymour.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He's being mentioned in chat right now. Like that's the character. Well, like I think a lot of people hate him because he's just awful. The way that they wrote that character. If they ever release him in DFFOO, I'll pull for his gear just to have him all, but I'm not gonna level up. I'm gonna keep him at level 1.
That's what I do with
just sit there.
As I do with Seymour, I have his EX purpled because I gave the spear to my girl Tara. He's sitting there with a fucking 1-star staff and a 1-star armor. I refuse.
Yeah.
His actual name is Argus. It's not Argath. Okay, you guys gotta go with the OG.
Wait, what
name.
is
I mean,
it? Oh yeah,
Algus.
right. Before they changed the
Algus,
names
Algus,
of some of these abilities.
Algus,
Algus.
right, yeah.
Which one was that one?
Yeah.
I forget.
Argath? Argath was
Yeah.
War of the Lions translation, where the translation was where like the dialogue was fixed. It actually felt like almost like a Shakespeare kind of a story, like the way that they were talking and everything. It was really cool. Also reminded me of the French Revolution, the way that the story progressed in tactics.
Oh,
So-
that asshole! I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do plan to play the War of the Lions Visions. I mean, I do have it. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah,
yet,
I
but
like-
I did
Oh,
hear
you'll
it's a
love
lot. It's pretty good. I heard it's pretty.
I don't like him. I don't like this guy. I don't know why I thought you guys were talking about the guy that you have to solo with Ramza and that like hallway and freaking demons come out and
Oh, Weegraph?
that one was
yeah,
tough.
him I want to
That
see
one
in the
was tough.
game. Oh my god,
one
Yeah,
was
he'd be
tough.
dope.
he'd be cool in the game. And
That's the fight where you can get stuck. Like
Yes,
if you,
you
can't
can.
beat him, you're stuck.
You're kind of screwed,
Holy-
especially if you saved
Yeah.
before that fight. You're kind of screwed on
Yeah.
that fight. Yeah.
man, it's just
If
so...
there is,
Mhm.
oh, go ahead.
no,
Oh, I was gonna say if there is a tactics character that I want to add. I know a lot of people say TG Sid, Delita, Mustadio, but I want to see Celia and Lead. Anybody remember them? They're really cool. I don't know
Are
if
they
you
the
didn't remember them.
assassins?
which one?
Yes,
assassins?
the Ultima Demon Assassins,
Oh,
but they have
the
to be.
dancer assassin.
Yeah.
They look
The
like
one-
dancers, but they're dope. They're super cool.
Yeah, they're with the vampire guy, right? Where you're like stealing all their weapons.
Yep. With Marcus
So-
Elendor, they
so-
would be really
Good
cool.
stuff.
So many great characters from Tactics.
There's so many great characters.
I
They
don't-
just didn't bring them any of them.
I don't
know why.
understand why. Yeah, I don't understand why they bring. I don't know if it's like some kind of like licensing issues, but I mean we have Ramza and Agrius, so I
I
don't.
mean, War of the Visions started off with like Orlando right away, man. Come on.
True, very true. But I don't know. But here's hoping to us seeing more Tactics character in the City of Final Fantasy Opera.
Super off topic. We went
Yeah.
FFT fanboys went off topic.
Yeah, we kind of did. So it's fine. That's okay, guys. So, and all right. So back on track. Another thing that they did discuss is that we are going to be getting a new change in the game, and that's going to be in the form of us being able to realize our 7-star armors. Who are you guys going to blue first, and tell me why it's going to be Tifa?
I mean, it's gonna have to be Tifa, right?
Of course.
Because
Tara's not
all
gonna be
all of
available,
the
so
all of the good units, you could go with all the units you'll use a lot, especially the attack ones for sure.
All right, so there's going to be two different, as I guess I'm calling them, categories when it comes to the blue armors: resonance and brilliance. All right, so when you realize a character 7-star armor, you get them to their plus form. So for those of you that don't know what it is, it's the same concept as realizing your EX weapons. All right, we're going to be getting new pages, new books, new ingots, new nuggets, and that's what you use. It's same exact steps as you realize your EX weapons. It's going to be the same process for your 7-star armor. So you're going to use a book to realize your 7-star armor, and then use those new ingots to limit break them. And once you fully max it out, it'll become 8 stars, and the background will change to a bluish gradient color, and then they're going to acquire the resonance or brilliance passive. Resonance type passives are going to boost your entire party's brave and HP damage caps, while brilliance type passives are going to boost that own character's own brave and HP damage caps. Now, I would say to players who are trying to plan out which ones to go for, what would you guys recommend for them? What would you guys think?
The units you use a lot, especially if they're a burst unit, and then you have to check if the effects is something that you really like for them. And if it usually, like for example, Tifa would really, the attack armor really boosts her damage, and it's just like how we get the 90 CP armor. It's just like how we get the current armors for the attack people. Generally, DPS characters really want their high armor pluses, and it's kind of the same thing now, but we have a lot less material, so you do have to choose a little bit more carefully.
Okay. What do you think, 40?
If you're not gonna use the character a lot, don't do it. Even if it's good for them.
Teddy has some input. He just raised his head. I believe he wants to give some
I
feedback.
think how soon did you just come upstairs? He might hear him. I don't know.
Oh, he's being guard dog. What do you think, 40?
Oh yeah, just kind of like just one more thing, like kind of like before, like you're gonna have to plus some armors, like Blobs is saying, the support party armor plus. You can just keep it at. You can just do some of them at plus at 0.3, so you can get the ingots, so that you can fully blue like Tifa, for example. But don't go like 1-3-2-3. Don't do that stuff. Just go 3-3.
So on this topic, I got asked this last night, and I said I'm like the wrong person to ask, because the way that I approached it is I went with my favorites and characters who I knew that I was gonna use often. Because I mean, while certain while like, you know, every character will benefit from it, like you're realistically not going to have enough resources, and for me, I found more value just going all out with like characters that I enjoyed using, that were my favorites, that I knew I was going to be using, you know, very like more so often, even after their initial release, or at least tried to make them work. So that's my approach to it. If you're looking for in-depth guides, though, there are 3 fantastic videos out there. Is it okay if I mention them, Lids?
Of course.
Simply Lost.
Oh, Jen says no. I'm sorry. You can't promote other content creators. I'm sorry.
No.
Of course you can. Of course.
Simply Lost has a video. John Belmont, who I think is in chat, has a video on it, and Black Nero. Those 3 guys all have fantastic videos on. If you're looking for like something in depth, and you're like, I want to learn more about this whole HD armor realization system and what they do and why it's important and who you go for.
They use percentages and numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to me, like, yeah, just use the damn book and there you go. Enjoy.
I mean, if they're in chat, they can post the link, obviously.
Yeah, I think John Belmont's in chat.
Yeah, they'll have to.
There he is.
There you go, Dragoon. Can you give him permission, please? Because if they post, I got my Nightbot set up to block. Because I've seen other content creators and the spam bots and them suspicious links to naughty websites. Yeah, yeah.
It was 40, right? 40.
Yeah, 40, and you too with your fans only. So just saying, I know you got just spam bots out there for that, but I definitely agree. Wait, before Rez. Thoughts on the upcoming?
It'll probably be Tifa. If Swolebez is nice and gives me his burst, then we'd be able to be Swolebez. What we really need is a maskless Swolebez. We need an after years Swolebez costume.
Oh yeah.
Or is that without his
not just
helmet?
Maskless, shirtless? Right? He has to be
shirtless and maskless, please. Yes.
You have to be shirtless. Gosh damn it! I gotta do more crunches.
Yes.
Gosh shit, damn it.
Yes.
Why are they all so buffed and ripped? But I'm on the same page as Jin. I would say when it comes, when it comes to their high guard armors, I've always said to like go for the supports, because like always boost up your entire party. You know, of course, if it's a DPS, an attacker that you're gonna be bringing constantly in your team compositions, you want to definitely bring them. But I've always liked doing the supports. Why boost just one character when you boost your entire party's overall damage? But as Blobs mentioned, an excellent point would be just get that character, realize it, give your entire party a little bit of that boost, and then focus on your attacker, because that's actually the smart way to approach it. Because as now 40 said, some of these resources, of course, like at first, especially as like when we first got EX weapons, realizable EX weapons, these resources are going to be scarce. And I don't really recommend for players to exchange your purple tokens for them, because there's going to be a change to the shop where you can exchange, I think it was 10 purple, right, high guard armor tokens for 5 of these new nuggets. I would rather you guys have, some of your entire roster with them new high guard armors than spending like what? The equivalent to 2 7-star armors just for 1 ingot. So yeah, that's going to be a lot. Maybe later down the line, once they start handing these things out like candy, perhaps. But no, if you're a newer player, I highly don't recommend you guys exchange them for those.
Have they started handing them out like candy on JP?
Not. Oh,
Not
not really,
really.
right? No, not
I
yet.
think it depends on. I wouldn't say it's like candy. It just depends on who's been hoarding and who has been not. Some people don't have
Yeah.
issues. Some people
Yeah,
have issues.
if you're a
You have
hardcore
to just
hoarder,
responsibly spend.
yeah.
Just responsibly spend them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're a hoarder and you plan out your stuff, maybe you have the capabilities to do so. I actually don't know. Fo, did you know? Or any of you guys, truthfully, do you guys know if they actually sell them? Like, you actually pay money for them? I'm not sure. I don't buy anything on the JP side.
They do have bundles sometimes that do feature them.
Okay.
They do. We're talking about the books and the
new ones.
ingots for the HG armors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. You can, but they're not often like they don't put them out for sale as often as like, you know, EX realization books and ingots. But they do, and they recently did materials for Burst Plus, which I thought was like, oh, okay.
Was it like
I feel like
$5?
Geo might release it earlier because they did release
I
like
think so too.
books and ingots like immediately almost like.
Oh shit.
JP had like a huge like was shortage, but then Geo like immediately they just released the bundle. It's like, hey, if you want you don't want to have shortage, you can buy them.
Well, payday is
So
Friday.
they might do the same thing. They might do the same thing.
Okay. I was just curious because I know, you know, GL Wales, we got to keep the game going. So try to pick up some of those bundles so everybody else can enjoy the game. But I mean, if you're a free to play player, just try to choose wisely. It's not it's not an issue, truthfully. Just over the course of time, it'll be fine. So yeah, all right, guys. So check out some of those resources that 40 mentioned if you guys want to familiarize yourselves more with these new High Guard Armor Plus armors. So, all right, what do we have next? What do we have? Oh man, the upcoming summer festival that's going to be near the end of June. So what do you guys think is going to happen with that and more? And I'm going to hand this over to 40 because I heard that you made an interesting speculation in terms of a surprise.
I did.
I don't know. I just heard that you said it was going to be a global first.
That's what I think it's going to be because because Josh was clearly like emphasizing on that and more. And you know that when he did that whole thing with Vincent where he was all like, if there was ever a time you guys should be excited, now is the time to do so. It's like, and it seems like whenever something big is about to come out, he tends to say something like that. So that's why I'm like, I think that's an indication we're getting a global first LD. And it kind of makes sense because the last one we got was in February for Vincent. So it has been a minute since we've seen a global first LD. So I think it's going to be global first LD. And
I hope not.
we'll, as far as who it is, we'll see. I feel you on that when it comes to resources, because when it comes to resources, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be painful if there is going to be another goal first LD. But at the same time, it's exciting.
Right.
And if it is a goal first LD, I want it to be Rydia, because that's instant pity right there for me. Some people are saying
oh my
Lulu.
God, Rydia or Lulu, please.
Pity. That's gonna be Rez and I's pull battle finally.
Yes,
for the goth waifu.
waifu.
Yes. What do you think, Jay?
Global.
I don't know. For some reason, I don't have my hopes up that much.
I don't
felt
either.
like Josh would have made a bigger deal or something. Like it felt like he didn't even give any like hints or anything.
I didn't notice it.
It might be just like an abyss with the Galoof or something.
I was in a meeting. I couldn't hear. They've been scheduling my meetings around my work meetings around the Square stream, so I'm just there like, wait, quiet down, guys, hold on. Josh is talking. But I think it's just Galoof, because I know they kind of did the same thing with like Sarah. Oh, we're gonna get something like a surprise or and more kind of thing last time, and it was Sarah. She did get, of course, she did get changes when it came to her boards, but and then like they didn't even mention Ignis last time, and we got Ignis. So I really think it's just Galoof with his LD. That's the and more big surprise, and he's actually a very powerful character, guys. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Galoof LD. I highly doubt that we'll be getting any surprise global first LDs for like a while. I'd like some, and we talked about this last time, I would still love some global first summer costumes, please.
So I know you're saying a while. When do you guys think we would get the next global first LD character? I mean, how much longer do we have until Lufenia Plus? Well, we're looking at where's that prediction?
4 months,
October.
3 months?
October, right? Is when we should be getting Lufenia Plus, Zidane Burst Plus, Estrella Burst Plus, or the first Burst Plus characters. Do you guys think we would get a global first LD before that?
I think it's possible.
Damn, it would make sense for the summer then, because I mean, what's in August? Or
I'm trying to think of like what's big, but I don't see anything. Like I don't think we're getting it this summer, and I don't think we're getting it in the fall. I mean, if we're getting anything, it would be around October in the holidays. But yeah, I think we're gonna go through a dry spell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if there is going to be a surprise, which like Rez was saying, I'm not getting my hopes up that it would be during the summer festival. But aside, I really don't see us getting another global first LD unless there's like a big global holiday. Which I mean, what's big? New Year's? Mm-hmm. I don't know. So.
Yeah, I'll just be using Sarah all the way until the next global person.
There you go. I mean, honestly, if it's Fang, why not? I've been like, I know because she seems like a meme.
I would love Fang.
But yeah, I would love Fang for get to her global LD first. And do you guys think? All right, let's say for example, it would be Fang. Do you guys think she would get a rework, kind of like Vincent?
I don't think so.
It wouldn't be like Vincent. We're already kind of far past. She would have to get LD boards. She would have to have a really OP LD if they're not doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would really depend on her boards and actual LD weapon. But we're at that. I mean, we're at that point though. We're a few months away from Lufenia Plus, Burst Plus, and they would have to take into consideration that character being released on the JP side also. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a rough one, truthfully. But aside from that, I would love to see free multi draws for the summer festival. I think that's a given.
I mean, that would be for the next stream, though. I don't think we're not getting any for this.
No, right, the summer festival, which should be seeing El Nacho. So El Nacho free banner draws across his banner. So we're looking at El Nacho. What's that old guy's called? Strago, Ash, and
I'd love to get Ash LD.
Oh, what's her name? The discounted
Iroha or whatever.
Iroha.
Mm-hmm.
Iroha. I could see those being discounted or I'm not discounted banners. Free multi draw banners for the summer festival. So, are you guys
ready?
Good
luck to everyone on their Tifa pools.
What's up?
Good luck to everyone on their Tifa pools.
I
think everyone is gemming her essentially. Like, who isn't?
Yeah, for real.
Who isn't?
Who is not?
I think Final Fantasy VII haters are not going to be pulling for Tifa.
That's my girl.
I mean, J.A is a weird person, so obviously he doesn't count.
I don't have gems.
I don't have gems.
Rip. So
he has like 1.5 million.
Yeah, literally.
That's impressive. So, Divine Alexander, do you guys think they'll bring the Daddy-O cheese to the global side of the game?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, they fixed it within a few days on JP.
Fine.
And I mean, if you take a look at how the Yuffie cheese is still there, and they kept that in there and didn't do anything about it, this one they actually fixed. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be fixed the moment that the event releases. If it's not, then that'd be cool. But I think it's going to be fixed. And we're going to have to deal with it the legit way, which that fight is something else. If you don't understand the mechanics, it's a doozy of a fight.
It is not easy. But those not familiar with the Gladio cheese, on the JP side of the game when Divine Alexander came out on the Lufenia, well, I think it was the other stage, but on the Lufenia, you were able to lock Gladio and Divine Alexander in an infinite counter of each other. So you use Gladio's LD ability, he receives 0 damage, and he countering back and forth. And like 2 hours later, you just leave it there. You go watch a movie. You come back, and there's an easy way to defeat Divine Alexander, which I was kind of hoping. I'm still hopeful that they'll still leave the cheese, because like 40 said, that fight was not easy. That fight was not easy. All I remember was my party getting broken, low brave, and all my party members got confused, debuffs. It was not pretty. It was not a pretty fight. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, but I think it had something to do with eye brave, like Gladio's eye brave, right, or something like that. I know that I remember having to remove passives and making sure that there's very specific thing that you had to follow, but yeah. Oh, some people are actually saying that it's still doable, but it's a very, very specific setup now. Like, it's harder now. But I don't know if that's going to require future characters that we don't have yet or whatnot. But as far as like how easy it was to set up when it first came out, I don't think it's going to be present. I think it's going to be patched.
Damn.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Light just confirmed it. There is a newer strat, but you need later characters, which, I mean, at that point,
that's with using, I think, what was it, Beatrix 8 and Yuna, that like the millions and millions of damage.
Oh yeah,
Yuna's burst summon.
Yeah, and 8 just keeps countering over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
and it doesn't stop.
So do you remember who you used on the JP side of the game, 40, for that fight specifically?
Well, I had Golbez burst, so I took Golbez. Who did I take? Golbez. I avoided taking Terra.
Why?
Shit.
Because so there's a mechanic. Okay, so there's a mechanic in that fight, right, where like Alexander will like go into like this mode where like he cleanses all his debuffs and he becomes debuff immune. And he purposely delays himself, because during the entire fight, you can't delay him with either breaking him or actual delay. But the thing is that during that state, if you take 8 consecutive turns before he gets to act, he's going to put up this shield where all brave damage that you deal to him is 1, and he takes 0 HP damage. And the only way to get him out of that, if I recall correctly, is you have to allow him to use his recast. So it can be... It's pretty tricky. Like, it's like you have to let him act at certain times, unless you Golbez burst and you take advantage of the effect, and then the recast just won't do anything to you, because his brave will be frozen as long as you have that. Yeah, pretty much what Blob just said. The start of it, if you get too greedy, you're gonna get punished. Alexander is like this revered god. Like, he wants you to. He's like, you gotta worship me and let me have a chance to bless you, or else I'm gonna punish you. Pretty much. Yeah, it's a pretty annoying mechanic. But I took Golbez. Can't remember who I took, who the other characters that I took. But Golbez was definitely in the party. He was definitely in the party. If I remember, I'll mention it in chat.
I know for me, I couldn't do it at first because of those mechanics. I know you guys, like, everybody's familiar with previous Alexander fights. He enters these like few turns where you have to break him. If not, you're going to get nuked. I think like you have to break him like 3 times, and he like massively, he caps out on his brave all the way. I remember Saz, when we got the ultimate Alexander back in the day. Same concept with Divine, but of course now it's Lufenia difficulty. And for that one, at first I couldn't do it, but when I was able to do it with Kadaj. Kadaj helped out when the portions where Alexander would massively brave heal on Kadaj, he stops brave gained and he saps it for himself. That really helped out a lot, and I was able to do it with Golbez with his burst weapon. Hope was on the team, and Kadaj himself. So, and Kadaj having the first gold frame debuffs, gold frames, you cannot remove them no matter what. At least yet on the JP side, perhaps one day they will be removable, but to this date you can't remove them. So when Alexander tried to cleanse himself, that debuff was still on it. So Kadaj was a huge help to that fight, at least for me on the JP side. Yeah, that was rough, guys. But good. Yeah, have fun on your grinds.
I'm definitely looking forward. Anything that's challenging, I find interesting.
Are you going to bring Vincent?
I don't actually know too much about the fight currently, but
okay.
I mean, outside of the chaos fight, I only know, but I don't know like the mechanics of the defending orb or anything. I haven't looked into it yet.
Oh, let me see if I can look it up. How about you, Rez? Are you excited? You looking forward to it?
But I still have every Lufenia fight that's available right now. I still have to do. So like that's so far from my mind right now.
And I mean, honestly, that's not a bad plan. If you guys are a little bit newer players and you guys are having a little bit difficulty defeating Lufenia content, if it's permanent, you don't stress about it. It'll be there forever. You can always come back later and just steamroll it with characters like Sid Reigns later down the line, like kind of how I did on the JP side because I didn't have Onion Knight when those Medusa fight things happened. So just saying.
Or you can be like me and just procrastinate until the very last second and then stress yourself out immensely trying to finish it in time.
That too.
That's the Arab way.
So Divine Alexander, the increased condition is doing dark damage, increased by 5. Yeah. It's gonna
dark damage.
Dark damage.
Well, there's Vivi. Vivi's gonna make a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Vivi.
Zonde.
Yep. T-Pose or T-Dab, whatever his name is.
Or you can try Leon if you want to really dig deep.
Would that work though? Oh man.
No.
Bosch will help Vivi stay alive. I don't recall if I really don't recall if Alexander ignores those conditions when it comes to HP damage reductions. But if you're gonna put Vivi on the same party, you gotta protect him with Bosch. If he doesn't, then you'll be fine.
Vivi's a good boy.
Oh, there we go. So, but I mean, aside from that, guys, have fun on your grind, right? Get them tickets, get them gems, recover from them Ferris pulls, and save them for Tifa, who should be coming real soon.
Actually, for people who don't like pool gold beds, like don't pool gold beds just for farming because you probably could possibly lose more resources than you can gain back. And if you have Terra, she's like an excellent farming.
Mm-hmm.
And she's excellent in general.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, have you guys thought about who you guys are going to be bringing for your auto plus units yet or not? Not yet. Just curious.
Probably Golbez.
Because we have Golbez, Shadow, Laguna, VV,
Hope,
Thunkrit, and Hope.
It'd probably be. I mean, if I can get Golbez, assuming I can get Golbez, it'll be like, Golbez, Hope, and Vivi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll go with.
That's a great team.
Yeah.
But if I don't get Golbez, then probably Terra. But that would. I would have to be a pretty bad banner for me not to get Golbez.
Can I just say this one thing, guys? We've been saying his name wrong. It's Swolbez. So,
Thank you.
Oh.
It's Swolbez.
That's how I've referred to him every time.
Is it Theodore or?
Theodore is the real name. His real name.
Theodore's right here, and I love
Wait,
that
that's
they
his
share
name?
Golbez. Yeah, that's Golbez's
Yeah.
real
You guys
name.
just spoiled
Theodore.
the whole game. I don't want to play it anymore. I don't want to play Final Fantasy IV anymore. Thanks, guys.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
6, Lids. You and Jen have to
Oh
play
shit!
6.
I'm sorry. I'll do that after I play Chrono Trigger.
Yes. Wait, 40, you've played Chrono Trigger, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Rez, I've played it, but I haven't beaten it. Does that still count? Is that fair?
So has Jin. Jin's played it but hasn't beaten it, so no.
God damn it.
Neither of you. It does not count for either of you.
All right, fine. Chrono Trigger collaboration when? All right, so any of the upcoming units, do you guys have any thoughts about the upcoming units? Any of the upcoming units that you are excited about? So we have Kadaj, we have Bartz LD, Burst, Panello LD, Spoonie Bard LD, Boards, Palom LD, Tifa LD. Are you guys excited for any of them? Are there any of those characters that you guys would recommend to OG players, newer players? Tifa, Rez, she's already making a statement right there.
I mean, besides Tifa and more than likely Bartz, because I think those are the two characters that have garnered the most hype for this month. I'm actually looking forward to Kadaj. He brings a uniqueness with his golden framed debuff, which I think is awesome, because that can't be pushed off or dispelled. So I'm gonna have some fun using him. And Edward LD boards, because his LD actually does HP damage now. He doesn't just put them to sleep and that's that. So I'm gonna be looking forward to those. Besides Bartz and Tifa, because I'm pretty sure 99% of the community is at least going to be pulling for Tifa. I don't see any reason why people are going to be skipping on her, because her LD hits like hits harder than some finished burst, which is insane. Or even total damage across from like an entire burst phase. It's just nutty how much damage she can drop.
Rez?
I'm obviously excited for Tifa. I unfortunately have to skip a lot of upcoming banners because I need to rebuild my ticket stash after it got decimated. So I gotta unfortunately skip like Nine and Fujin and Kadaj. But as much as I love Advent Children, but I'm excited for Bart's, but I'm very excited for Galoof. And I
right.
really hope that I can get. I've always loved Galoof. Like I love him. I love Strago. And I love how like their granddaughters are in their games. So I would love to get Galoof LD. And hopefully I can get him and Bart's with minimal tickets, because I will have minimal tickets. Okay, Max, you post this on my videos all the time, and I keep explaining that just because I have a lot of gems doesn't mean I'm going to use them on everybody. The only reason I have a lot of gems is because I don't use them on everybody. So, I'm not going to keep answering. I'm not going to keep like entertaining that. So
insert Jin Lee's saving budgeting video.
Right, gems are the only things that can guarantee you somebody you want, and those should be favorites. And so Rez obviously doesn't have a favorite for everybody, even though she might want somebody.
Yeah, Horde.
Not enough to gem.
Yeah, you don't have to pull for everybody. Just pick wisely and you'll be fine. If anything, you guys should start saving for the Lufenia Plus era already. Just get Palom. No, I'm sorry. Get Porum. Get Setzer. Save. That's what you
with the planner, like if you use the new DFFOO planner, which you should all use, it's now available on FFO tip, which is fantastic. But if you can see just like how far in the game you can get before you have to, so I'm not gemming that many banners the rest of the year. If it hits worst case scenario, which is what I have to assume, which is what worst case scenario ended up being for a lot of my polls the last 3 months. I'll be like under 100,000 gems by the time Fran LD comes out, and like that is with removing a lot of banners that I'm planning on gemming. Like gems can go down so quickly and they take so long to build up. So that's why I'm very deliberate with all of my gem spends. And like it's so frustrating getting that question. I know it's like don't entertain it if it's frustrating, but like that's how we have these gem stashes, is because we don't gem every banner.
Truth.
Word. I mean, I love Fujin. I'm definitely pulling for Fujin.
Oh yeah.
But But like I'm going with gems on Kadaj, so I might not go because I also like Shalky, which Fujin's LD comes back with. So I've chosen not to gem Fujin. I'm also like 9 is actually pretty decent though. I don't have 9's LD.
9's cool,
and he's a great unit for newer players for sure. Like he's a pretty great substitute for Wall. He's actually. I mean, Inkwelder is shout out to Inkwelder and Tone Trip. He's a huge defender of 9 because 9 has like spectacular auras, and people are just overlooking the fact that 9 is really, really great unit. Even though he's just a returning unit, he's actually a really great unit.
Wait, who's 9? You mean Warrior of Light Jr.?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, I'm just kidding. No, 9's great. Once he gets his boards too, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually quite a fantastic unit. I think he's being overlooked a bit. I mean, Inkwelder has really proved, like he's gone on like a long spiel about like how great 9's aura is compared to like a lot of you. It's pretty damn impressive. So yeah, I'm definitely ticketing Fujin and 9. Looking forward to that banner. And Kadaj is getting gems because having children.
Right.
And yeah, Bart's probably just tickets for Bart's, unless I get his burst with, which is obvious. I'm actually looking forward to Inkwelder. I mean, I just mentioned him again, but last time we pooled, Inkwelder lost to me. He's gonna have to pool 200 tickets on Edward and Palom's banner, and he hates that banner so much. And I'm looking forward to his video on that the most.
Oh, who do we have? Man, I forgot about Galoof for a second. He's a great character, especially with his auras. I know somebody asked what Galoof does with his LD. So first and foremost, Galoof is a great counter evading type character. He will cover for your party, kind of like Gladio. Okay, I say Gladio is the younger Galoof, and Galoof is the more experienced veteran. So, but once Galoof gets his LD, long story short is that he's going to increase your party's brave damage by 40%, and he's gonna have this mechanic kind of like what's his face, Arden, where he cannot die. So very, very strong auras towards your party members in terms of increasing their brave damage, while also being a great counter tank, counter evade unit. I don't know how we call those units now. I don't know. I call someone a tank, someone gets mad. So counter evade, double counter. Thank you, J-Dot. Double counter. So he does the standard counter, and then he does another counter. But one of his counters is with physical type damage, and with his LD counter, it's any form of damage. And he does have, I think it was party HP healing, which was nice too. So he's a very strong character. If you guys are looking for some form of tank like evade counter type character, Galoof is a great pickup. But I'm like Rez, gems for the Tifa. Kadaj, I'm a Final Fantasy VII fan. Ferris might have put a dent in those plans, but it's Kadaj, so I don't know where I'm at now. I'm not a fan of Maria. I've never been a fan of Maria because once Kadaj gets
She's so pretty.
later down the line, Maria's LD weapon, I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care about
Oh
Maria.
my god.
So I'd rather get
Oh my
Kadaj now
God.
than later down the line. Stop it, Jen.
How dare you?
I'll have
That
Zidane.
outfit.
I'll have
My
Zidane by.
God.
I'll have Ace by then. We'll be fine. But aside from that, Bart's. I'm very excited about Bart's, especially because he's a very powerful burst plus characters, and I'm going to try to push for players for him, unless if they don't have Ferris and they want to pick him up later down the line, because he is run alongside Ace. When Ace gets his LD and burst weapons, burst plus, and Ace is a very powerful magic attacker during that time. So, yeah. So that's who I'm excited.
I mean, you're gonna have to pick up his burst for his burst plus. Are you
Yeah.
chasing his burst?
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I will be picking it up now because I already do have Ferris. So I am looking to pick up his LD and then chase on the Tifa banner. Tifa is getting gems automatically. So
Right.
So goodbye gems. I've been saving them for these banners. So yeah, and then after that.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you get Tifa and like 10k gems, you would continue for his burst. Probably not. Right?
That depends on how the LD chases go, because usually when it comes to some of these characters that I do want, now these are my own personal plans. I'll chase their LD with gems, and I mean, if I get the burst along the way, awesome, great. But if I don't, as soon as I get the LD, I stop and I see how, if there's going to be another banner that I'm going to be chasing in with gems, I'll see how that treats me. And whichever more I guess where I'm higher in the G token count, that's where I will continue pulling. But if not, I should have enough burst tokens. I believe I do have enough burst tokens to pick them up. That's if I don't get really excited for Swobez, because, I mean, 40 with the power will meteone, so, yeah.
Heck yeah.
See?
Heck
So
yeah.
I do like Golbez. He's a very powerful character. I did get him on the JP side of the game when he debuted. Oh my gosh, he's a very powerful dark magic attacker. Gosh damn, he dishes out a lot of damage. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So,
Some art of Swolbez like mask off, and I'm just like, this is the Swolbez that I need. This is the Swolbez that I need in my life.
look at that hair. What are they called?
He's beautiful.
What are they called? Lunarians?
Lunarians.
Lunarians.
Lunarians?
Beautiful. He's beautiful.
Wait, who's he making out with? I can't really see.
No, he's
He's-
holding his younger brother.
Oh, I
He's-
can't
God.
tell.
He's hugging Pestle.
Oh,
He's hugging Russell.
word. Okay. I haven't played it, so I'll have to. Does that mean I have to play the After Years too?
I haven't played After Years.
You don't have to play After Years to appreciate 4, because honestly, 4 is more than enough. Because After Years, honestly, is, if from an unbiased standpoint, is okay. There's things about it that just feels rushed, especially a lot of the enemies that repeat themselves from the original game. It's like they got lazy, but it's a good play if you just want to see like an actual continuation to the story and see the offspring of the original cast, yada yada. So
Okay. So I'll play Final Fantasy 4 at some point.
play the PSP version's the best one.
We have to pull on Ursula though, because
Isn't she from The Little Mermaid?
Yes,
Right. We're getting the eels and yeah.
yeah, we're getting them.
That's exciting.
And Blossom and Jetsam.
Yeah.
Sebastian LD when
Yes.
Under
he has a buff called Under the Sea. I was just
Oh my
about to say.
god, yes.
Does it enhance your party members with water? Is that what's gonna happen?
It does. Yeah, it does, and it causes them to burst out into music and dance.
I was about to say that'll be his burst music. Gosh damn it! So just be careful when you use that on your YouTube videos because you might get hit with copyright
Okay,
stuff. So
yeah,
just
there
be
you go.
careful. I know Disney is thirsty for them copyright claims. So yeah.
poor Disney, it's such a broke corporation.
God damn it. All right, guys. So it seems like we covered all the topics that we wanted to talk about. So we are in the question portion of the podcast. So I do see that there were some questions uploaded from, I don't know if it was previously or not. So I think Rez, can you pick one of them, and I guess we'll talk about them. Or was it?
Yeah.
good?
Sure. This is let's see.
And anybody else, of course, ask Wayne if we can get to it. We will.
I can't remember if we talked about it this time, but Blobs asked this question: with Global giving extra love to recent lackluster characters that were released on JP, what are some future LD characters that only got an LD that you could have used a bit more love to push them over the point of being more widely used past their own event?
I'd say Ferris could have probably used a better rework because her skill 1 and 2 are still kind of, because most people are going to be using her for the call.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
a lot
you
of
could,
people are complaining about her damage right now. They're like surprised.
yeah, her but the thing is, like, she's not a damage dealer. That's
She's
not her
a
role.
damage dealer. Don't bring her
But-
to damage.
I do understand how some can, you know, some people who analyze her kit are like, oh, she probably could have used maybe a slight bump in potency or maybe more brave hits. So I guess that's one example of a character. Another character that I think, honestly, and some were saying that no, she's fine, but I actually think Deuce should have gotten a rework. I think she could have. I think she should have got
right
even
after Sarah.
yeah, I know. Right,
Yeah.
right after the beefed up Sarah too. It's
Yeah.
like she could have
And
like
Seven, the same
her
issue.
LD's great, but I don't think it's enough. I think she's another example. Oh yeah, and 7 too. 7
Yeah.
is another
7.
one. Yeah. So
They're all after
those are
Sarah. Sarah's
examples.
a deserving one. She was a deserving one that got fixed. But they
Absolutely.
seem to have a string of subpar LDs. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the Lost Chapters characters going forward, truthfully, because if they're the main featured ones and if they already have their boards already, they're not going to get anything else. Like I mentioned earlier, they're going to focus on the second character's gimmick. Like what's his face, Beaver Guy. Literally, I remember he didn't get a damn thing for his Lost
Guy.
Chapter. But what's her face? The girl with the hammer.
Oh, it's Keki! Sync.
Yeah. I was like, wait,
I love
so
her.
they didn't do anything for Beaver Guy? What the hell? I was a little disappointed because I was looking forward to it, at least on the JP side. So, I mean, yeah, of course, with the proper team compositions, yes, you can make them work, but so he probably won't receive love until like what, level 90s or once they introduce a new weapon type, or I don't know, something different later down the line. But nope, he did not yeah, so I'm gonna say some of these lost chapter characters that don't get anything else.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Guy is
But they-
tragic.
But they do want you to pull more for the other character.
I
Mhm.
don't care about Cinco Maria though. God damn it. So okay. Which one of these did you wait? Which one was these, Rez? First, second, third, or fourth?
It was the third.
Was the third one this one? Okay. Okay. How about let's try this one. I think you were saying that this was from a previous one, the first one for JP players with how strong foresight is in global. If JP hypothetically had revealed the new reworks, upcoming LD bursts, and new characters 2 months ahead on their OPOP videos month community videos, would you welcome that, or do you prefer the current where you only know some info for the upcoming month, like hiding who the new burst plus and new characters? Ooh.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. So obviously for global, the foresight is awesome because what foresight does is it allows you to plan ahead and save your resources unless you're a whale and you pull on everything. And that would be nice for JP, but I think my question is how they would execute that. And also part of me actually likes kind of being in the dark and kind of having to like figure out the puzzle, because as we've seen, because of the power of foresight, a lot of things on global, because you have that foresight, 90% of the puzzle is done for you. You look up the videos, you look up your resources, the guides provided by the Tonberry Troop, you watch your favorite content creators, and like that's that. You're prepared ahead of time. So like part of me would be like, yeah, I think it'd be great to have the foresight, but at the same time, part of me is like, I like going into the dark because I like being surprised. And because the thing is like you go into like in JP, for example, right? Like I'll use this as a personal example. When Agrius first got her LD, I was one that said, "Oh, okay, so she got Holy Explosion, which is cool," but I didn't really see anything special about her. From like the initial trailer that they showed, and like when I used her once and then I just kind of like benched her, right? Like I didn't think she got too much, and then afterwards, I started to watch other videos from other JP DFFOO content creators, and I actually really looked at just how valuable her kit was, especially for Lufenia Plus, and I gained, I gained another level of like, appreciation for the character. And that's because I went into it dark. I went into it in the dark without like having any kind of like prior knowledge of like, what the character does. And I learned how to appreciate them that much more. And I think that's what's cool about not having the foresight is you go into it dark and you may underappreciate a character when you first see them, and then afterwards when you kind of see how well they can perform in future events, you're just kind of like, oh wow, this character is actually really, really strong, and you go back to like some of these events and some of this hard content and you start using them, and like you really gain like a newfound appreciation for them. So I'm like 50-50 with it, but for like JP not having it, I'm perfectly fine with it because I like going into the dark and figuring things out. That's what makes the game a lot more fun for me.
I agree with you, 40, as another JP player. Being in the dark on the JP side, it really, you value your gems a lot more, because you don't know what's to come. You're saving them like, okay, there's this hyped up character, but what if my favorite character's around the corner? And even if they did decide to, reveal us characters like 2 months ahead, I don't think they would even reveal us their kits. So we don't know how strong a character is going to be. Like some of these characters that me personally, like I never truthfully liked, and then they release their kit, it's like, holy crap, their kit is pretty awesome. So like someone like, for example, Sid Reigns, I never played, well, I don't know, where's Lightning Returns, one of those games, whatever. No, right? Is he from 13? Sid Reigns?
He's from 13.
He's from 13.
Sid Reigns from 13, yeah.
I don't know him. I could care less about him, but look at his kit. He can casually do 1,000,000 HP damage during a chase sequence. So yeah, I'm fine with being on the dark, at least on the JP side of the game. Again, I just value my resources that much more, especially on JP being a free-to-play player. The only thing I do get there, I guess maybe not. Some players wouldn't consider that 100% free-to-play. It's just the Mog Pass, just to speed up the grinding process from the summon boards. Back in the day, now I probably don't need it, but aside from that, I don't buy anything else. So all the gems are just earned from the game. I guess it just feels better too. Having all these free-to-play gems, and then like, oh, I just was able to pity with these free to play gems, and for a character that just got released that I really like. So yeah.
I mean, as a GL player, I like that JP is in the dark because like it's just from my own experience. Just because I get to like see, oh, that character's coming out, and then we don't have to wait 2 months to see how they're like. Like obviously it's a selfish part of me where that JP's in the dark, so we get the excitement of finding out who's coming, and they come pretty soon after. And then I play GL, so I can plan for that person if I want them. So I get the best of both worlds without having to risk my gems and my stashes playing JP blindly. But I do enjoy, like, for example, like GL First, I do enjoy analyzing the kits of GL First characters, since you can see like there's a lot of community differing, because when there's no JP videos, it's all based on how well somebody can analyze a kit and see how good a useful character can be, because there's no proof anymore. There's just all speculation. There's no videos of them being used for this and this fight. There's no proof of them being useful for such and such situations. So I do like that aspect of GL First. That brings a little bit of the JP excitement.
Yeah, I agree with Jen. I play 2 other gacha games where we don't have that kind of foresight, and it makes resource planning a lot more difficult. So I, like the excitement of finding out who's coming out in JP, and then just knowing that they'll be coming out in global, giving me a good, way to make sure that I have enough resources when they do come out, if it is something that I get. But I also love the surprise of it's like we get, like you said, the best of both worlds. Like we get the occasional surprise, and then but for everything else, it's easier to save our resources for. But for other things, it's like I play Fire Emblem Heroes. Banner units get power crept like every month. So it's really, you gotta really just stick to favorites in that game, because the meta is just going to change every month, and I don't think I'd be able to do that and stay sane in DFFOO.
Right. And there's a follow-up to this question. I know Jen kind of like answered it in his own when he was talking, but like, do you guys enjoy having foresight in global, or does it kind of ruin the challenge of the game? I would say, yeah, most likely, like it was mentioned that the puzzle has already been solved for us. So unless you want to experiment like with different team compositions, like it's already been done on the JP side of the game. Just watch YouTube videos if you guys want to see how to do set of content. So in terms of ruining the challenge, yeah, if you guys want to challenge yourself, those are the players who like to experiment, like Jen has with Vincent on all of these wonderful Transcendence stages. Those are the types of players that are going to be experimenting with different type of characters, especially with Global First. I love Global First also because of what they bring to the table, the trying out different team compositions like Sarah. I've been enjoying. I don't like Sarah. I've never liked Sarah in this game. I like her now. She's great. Great Orbot because of what she brings to the table. So fantastic unit. So yeah. All right. So if you guys see any other questions, point them out. I did spill my beer again tonight. Gosh damn it.
I've said it before, but that's why I felt like people would have loved Sarah if they used her back in the day too. She just does.
I love Sarah.
More of what she does. She does more of what she does better, just up to speed. But she was doing that stuff back in the day as well.
And that's the great thing about Global.
Battery debuffs.
They listen. Like they saw what happened to Sarah on the JP side. Like she was just no, and Global was like, all right, hold my Mog, and then here we go. So
I forget where I was discussing this too, but like because the fact that Sarah is sucky on JP, when her bursts and reworks come, she might be busted again in JP. So GL is just gonna have a busted Sarah like for the life of the game.
Yeah,
and I love it. I'm here for it.
So yeah, I agree. Ash, what are your thoughts on Ash LD? It's fine. I think it's fine.
She's probably gonna skip since she comes back with Zach.
Might not be a bad banner for me with tickets. I don't have Strago's LD. I would value Strago for me personally. Strago
is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a
He
lot better
is.
than I thought he was,
Dope.
actually.
So.
I love him.
Ooh, okay, hold on. This is an interesting one from Anatseru. Because of high damage JP getting, do you think they could make a Lufenia plus more harder and allow fourth character on team besides friend Unity? I feel like they tried that already with that six party composition that nobody seemed to like on the JP side of the game. Remember that?
That was weird. I was like, so when they first talked about that, I was hoping for like something like where, kind of like similar to Boss Rush, but in a different manner, where like the fight continues on and like you can actually like the characters actually swap out in the middle of the fight. But I didn't understand how the execution of that, like. It's like, okay, I can swap characters out. That's cool, but this didn't really add anything. Like the fight wasn't like that hard where like you needed to do that. So I don't know. It was just kind of, I think it's one of those things where I think Global eventually is going to work towards making it better so that when it's released, it'll. The reception will be better from the global community. At least I think they could potentially, do something like that. But yeah, that was weird. That was the whole 6-man team. It was weird. And I mean, we've only seen it once because the reception was not very good for that.
I think the boss rush is the way it should be. Like that's
Right.
like with additional units, the way that they do the boss rush is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most interesting fights we generally have because you see like so many different team comps like across all videos. Like hardly anybody ever brings the same units. It's very interesting, and the fact that you have to juggle different boss mechanics and different orbs, and there's so different units you can use for each of them and your teams. Yeah, the way that it's built for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great that everyone can have so different but works the same. One of the best. They should do more boss rushes, I feel.
Yeah, I like these different game modes that switch things up for us. I've always found those more enjoyable than the standard.
Mhm.
All right, here's a new character. Just go play with random players like for like an hour, and there you go. But yeah, in terms of like, I don't know if I would like more party comp, like 4 or 5 characters on the team. I feel like that would be a huge change to the game from what we're used to. I mean, would it be fun? Probably. I took a break during that 6-team composition thing. I wasn't really excited. I'm more excited about them messing around with new mechanics, kind of like how they did with Pain when Pain got her with her rework in LD in the terms of positioning on the team composition that affects the entire party. So I can see them doing that more as we progress later down the line. Those kinds of mechanics, yes, I would love more of those mechanics, or them experimenting with more types of mechanics in the game. But more party comps, I don't know. I'm not that excited about that one. So, yeah.
There's a question from C1 Sower.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Abyss and the more strict requirements, especially Spear, making it seem like you should pull for X character like Mog? I can answer that. Well, I'll answer that first. I think I generally prefer that they have a hard fight, but not like so the requirements in the fight are so strict that only if you don't have Mog, then you can only use like 2 or 3 other characters. I don't like that either, and I think they realized that and they overcorrected on the next Abyss Lufenia, which required only sword, and so we have tons of sword units, so it felt like an overcorrection. So I don't really like that either. It depends on the fight. I think they need to analyze the fight a little bit better before they put down the requirements, because Mog's fight, it was just really hard by itself, like with that. So like putting on the requirements of the Spear and the Black Crystal made it even harder, and that's why it got such a bad reception. But I do give them credit for not making it a requirement to move to the next stratum, because it was the worst. If you couldn't beat it, then you lost 6. That's it. Everything else was permanent rewards.
I have always I like the more stricter requirements as an OG player. It lets me, well, like you were saying, like with these more recent ones, just being able to bring different team compositions, units that I haven't used in a bit. Just get him off the bench and bring him into these Abyss fights. Yes, I personally like that as an OG player.
Oh, those are fantastic. I think he was talking about the Lufenia fight in general. Just the Lufenia fight is. A lot of people complain about that Lufenia fight specifically.
Oh, my bad.
Most people enjoyed the Abyss overall, except for the Lufenia, because it seemed like it was shilling Mog. It's like so much. Because for anyone who didn't have Mog, it was either you got to bring like Kefka or you got to bring Elnarsh, and it was a hard fight. That was pretty much like an Arciela. There's only very few options, and most of it was cheesing and shutting him down. Otherwise, it was a hell of a fight. So I do think that they do need to take the fight into consideration before they make the requirements. And then the next one was too easy. There was too many sword, yellow and red. If they had, I think I made a joke, but I think they originally had that as dagger, red and yellow crystal. That would have been probably pretty difficult. But they probably changed to sword after the first Abyss outrage. That's just my guess. Obviously, I have no proof. But it was too easy with the sword requirement. That's what I figured. And it was not chilling Ignis anymore. If they had the dagger, then obviously Ignis can fill dagger red. But for some reason, it was sword. And then, yeah, randomly sword. I think they changed it at the end.
Yellow sword, lightning, easy.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I mean, you have Ramza, you have Onion Knight, the red sword, Furion. It was like so many options that I was like, this must have been changed from a dagger. Because there's no reason to pull for Ignis. You don't need Ignis like at all for the Abyss.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm fine with that as long as the fight is. I mean, I think that made it too easy. I think they need to take the fight into consideration before they make the requirement.
Ooh.
Well, Final Asim has an interesting question.
Yeah, go ahead. I just thought go.
I have a question. The question is specifically for you and me, Lid. Since they play both Global and JP, do you guys feel a little bored playing Global now that you have already done all those events in JP already? And does it feel that you're only doing the same thing the second time around? I'm starting to feel that way. Speaking for me, I still enjoy Global because the thing is I get to experiment and try things that I didn't do on JP. And also, speaking for the Global side, I do enjoy Abyss because I actually liked having additional set of rules that I need to play by. So then that way, for me, Abyss is a great way for me to really test my merit and skill as like a player because I'm like, okay, who can I use for this? And then they get locked out and who can I use for this? So I still have fun with Global, even though, yeah, JP is ahead. Yeah, JP, having the JP experience, makes my Global experience a little bit more manageable for like harder content, but I still enjoy both. Do I get burnt out? Absolutely. I have real life to deal with too. I have stated that I've taken times, where I log into the game and that's all that I do. I log in, do my, the Gigantor quest, and that's it. And because, I don't want to burn out, and I just feel like, I need to take a break from like playing the game hardcore. But overall, I still enjoy both versions. I like what both versions offer. I like all the global exclusive, global first stuff that global gets, and it just, for me, I treat them as two different experiences, even though there's some, obvious similarities between them.
I'm on the same page as 40. I burnout, it is a thing, but I mean, what I like to tell players is that you're gonna be doing the same thing in terms of content in Opera Omnia. You're going to be doing events, boss chapters, Dimensions and Abyss. It's the same. It's the same shit over and over again. So if you can't accept that fact, you're going to get bored of the game. But the great thing I love about this game, is that you can do content pretty quickly. When it comes to like the co-ops, you could fairly quickly collect a lot of the items in the exchange, and then you can just go play something else in the meantime. So it's compared to like other games where you have to like hardcore grind for like several days in order to clear out, some of these exchange shops. So yeah, I used to get bored a lot more often. I know now when I do get burnt out, I try to focus primarily on global rather than JP. Although JP, it is more fun. Lufenia Plus, Burst Plus, it's really fun. A lot of my audience is global players, so I try to stick to that. So yeah, burnout is a thing. Boredom does become a thing, but like I said, because they keep these events a little bit more shorter, I'm fine with it. Yeah, honestly, you guys, like all of you guys, the entire community, you guys, all of you guys that I got to meet along this journey have made it so I can like really enjoy the game, because usually when it comes to playing games, I don't last long. Like I have a whole library of collection of games that I've never beaten. They're just there, but thanks to you guys and all that wonderful stuff, it makes the game that much more enjoyable. So
Word. You hit the feels right there, Liz.
Yeah. So
Community.
But the community does make a big difference.
Oh yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean the community. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, that's the only reason I played these two games still. I mean, I play two gacha games, and the only reason I do it is because I play with others. Like, Tales of Questoria, I would have quit ages ago, probably, because that game was cruel to me. But it has also a great little community in resphoina's Discord, so yeah, still play that. And this city obviously has amazing stuff. Definitely makes it more interesting. And for veteran players like us, the grind is not much at all. As a new player, it might be overwhelming, but for us, we just barely have to do anything anymore.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. Like, I give major props to anybody that, has joined this game in the last 6 months or so, because I've never played a gacha like after. I've only ever been a day one player in all of the gachas that I've played, and like, I'd love to get into FF14 or something, but I just get so intimidated by how much time I'd need to put in to grind to get to like a level that I would feel would be acceptable. And I already know that I waste too much time on other things. So I give a lot of props to people that are like coming into, DFFOO new, and there's just so much stuff to do and worry about, and so many things to manage. It's a lot. So for like day one, veteran players, it's like a nice steady flow, but it takes a while to catch up. For a bit, it is kind of a grind.
Them summon boards, that's probably going to be the biggest grind as a newer player. Gosh damn.
Hell yeah.
Holy crap. But it's a lot of gems and tickets. The payout is nice. That's the beautiful thing about it too, is that the payout in this game, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Cloud Colin asked an interesting question in the terms of the best hardest level and Transcendence. Hardest level, like, are the same difficulty. Remember when they first introduced that new level? It was not that long ago. I think it was Abyss right before the Lufenia era, where they introduced that new difficulty.
It was like level 190.
Yeah, you guys remember that one, right? That one was tough. If I'm understanding the question, but no, yeah, they're difficult in their own way, because back then did we have burst weapons then? I think we might have. I don't remember. But at this point, we just have different team. We have different party members. We have different units, like Sarah now with her wonderful aura. So times change. So the difficulty can be different, but that was probably the hardest, I would say, for the Abyss, at least for me.
We're trying to compare Abyss to Transcendence. I think Transcendence is definitely harder.
I think the difference between the Abyss hardest level and Transcendence hardest level, like,
I assume everything. I would probably guess Transcendence. Well, I'm not.
Yeah. So.
Because it requires a lot more mechanics, multiple waves, multiple orbs.
I could see that.
Abyss is generally just the one fight.
True. Very true.
And you're gonna generally need a burst character. You wouldn't need it for Abyss.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Abyss, like, you need more characters. You need a more vast roster. Like with Transcendence, legit, if you're a newer player, you play your cards right, if you literally pull on the most recent banners, you could probably do it again, but you've got to know what you're doing. But right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, in all DFFO, like you can do all the recent Lufenias with the banner characters if you build them up properly, but then, well, you're screwed for the next cycle unless you pull the next cycle.
True. So, all right, guys. Any more questions? Few more before we end tonight's podcast. Maybe let's make it 2 more. How about that? So, 2 more.
There's a question for me. It's a silly question.
Gym stream.
Maybe this weekend. We'll see. We'll see, Booty Tom. There's one for you there, Lidz. Lee Gwen.
I've been playing ARAM. Seen any ultimate weapons on JP? They just announced that we're getting something new in the upcoming month in terms of was it ultimate weapons? That like
I
different
think
characters
it's
can
ultimate.
equip? But they're
I think, or is it EX upgrades? I forget.
I think there were ultimate weapons and they were just passives, but that like any of these characters can equip. I think it was like an ultimate weapon per weapon category. I don't remember. So okay, how about this one? If there was one change you could make to the game, what would it be? Anything global or JP? Ooh, this one. Here we go. So kind of like here we go. Jin and Rez, kind of like Tales of Christoria, that resetting tower. I kind of wish they had that kind of game mode in Opera Omnia. So we do have, you know, kind of like a climbable tower in the form of dimensions and entropy, right? 20 stages, you climb it with all these wonderful characters, but then that's it. You're done. You're done permanently with that content compared to some of these other games that I like to compare it to, kind of like Tales of Christoria, kind of like Last Claudia, where they have the same concept in that tower. You have to bring these different team compositions to this tower, but it resets like every single month, so you could take it on and earn some of those resources again. So you could potentially switch up some of these characters. They could potentially switch up some of these bosses that you have to face every single month. So that would probably be my change for both global and JP, is some of these just resetting some of these towers with possibly different bosses, switch things up.
Mine's gonna be like literally the first thing that I thought of was being able to and this, I guess it won't be as big a deal once the QOL of just auto selling bronze and silver weapons will be a thing. But the first thing I thought of was just like, why the 30 limit when like enhancing or selling something? Like, I don't get it. But the you know, auto sell of the silver and bronze would handle that. I guess that would be I think that would be a really cool game mode, especially like if they just, you know, switched up the game mechanics a little bit. I'm trying to like more costumes. I want more costumes. That's not my real answer, but I can't think of a real one right now.
Okay.
For me, friends list. Fix the friends list. Increase the cap from 300 to at least 500. Allow it to where when we hit auto, it auto invites everybody who's online on your friends list.
Yes.
And also, if like you can't add people, you can like search for them via like their friend code or their username, and you can invite them to your co-op regardless if they're not on the friends list or not. I've been pushing for a friends list quality of life update. I've been talking about it so hard like ever since I started playing this game. I'm like, fix the friends list. That's like the one thing that really still triggers me is the friends list.
I can see that.
That's like that's a streamer problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but I mean,
I stopped doing co-ops on stream because it's just so stressful when, like, you know, you're already not on the friends list and it's just refreshing and it's not fun for anybody to have to watch, like, constantly refreshing a friends list and then like waiting to see and everything.
It's
so I'd be down with that.
And I love all you guys, but I feel like when we run co-ops, like all the lurkers come out. Like, hey, did you add me? Oh, hey, what's up, first timer? Yes. Hold on, what's your ID? And I swear, like half an hour later, I can do the first match, and then after that, the next half an hour.
So long.
Lol, Dragoon, move me up in co-op.
Like I said, I love all you guys, but I swear when co-ops happen, like everybody pops up.
Oh my god, everybody redeeming. I think I just ended up removing that from my channel points.
Yeah. Everybody's getting moved up for co-ops. Gosh damn it. Dragoon,
look at that.
You're gonna be part of the 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh damn it. Here we
Oh
go.
man.
All y'all are
Dragoon.
getting moved up in my next co-ops. All right, guys. So one more question. Jen, pick the very last question. Whoever asks, it could be any question. Make up a question. Pick a question. You get the last one. So.
Well, let me answer that question first about what I would change.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think no, I would change the thing that keeps people from quitting the most is like the RNG. Most people quit because they have bad RNG, and I would say like I like how there's a pity system, but I think like for people that like don't keep, they would pull their gems on random banners that don't save for pity. I think there's a way they could do like a sort of currency, not G token, but similar, where if you pull like a multi-gem draw, instead of getting 20 G tokens, you get 20 G tokens and you get like maybe like 1 or 5 tokens of another currency that can be transferred to all banners. And then once you hit a certain number, you can pity any weapon, so that any gem draw on any banner isn't wasted. Like I know people have gone to like 200k for a burst and LD, and it just feels like, oh god. So it would save people some suffering, I would say.
So you're thinking like Genshin pity system, where the pity carries over to different banners. That'd be interesting. Or
Yeah.
Doesn't Dokkan? I don't play Dokkan
Like I
anymore.
mean, it's
Go ahead.
yeah, it would be like you can pity the banner character, but you can also accrue like just by using your gems you can accrue like a secondary kind of token. So that
It'd be awesome if like, you know, all of like the banners associated with that burst weapon, if you could, you know, pool them because it's
if you
like
could pool also for the for the same banner cycle for the burst, that would be awesome.
Exactly.
But then they probably have to have another G token.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it would be. I feel like that would be ideal. I'm thinking about like Inkwelder, who pitied both Mog and Deuce LD without getting Terra Burst on either of them, and he still had a token Terra Burst. Like it would be so nice to just have all of those together, because it sucks like when you spend, you know, 300 G tokens on one banner and 300 G tokens on the other. It's like, if it had just been pooled together, I could have at least gotten the burst out of that.
Yeah, that'd be a nice change. And that would make Opera just that much more better as a free-to-play friendly game.
Yeah, they're already quite generous for a gacha game, but it is a gacha game, and so the most people quit because of bad RNG.
Yes. And that's where Jin introduces his video again about saving and budgeting. Man,
it's always applicable. It's
always applicable. All right, last question. Jin, pick the last question. Whatever.
Well, somebody's saying, how would that benefit SQUEX? It would just retain more players. So
keep playing.
It does benefit a little bit. Yeah.
Introduce smaller bundles, right? Where you keep the smaller goldfish, so to say, right? $5 ingots. There we go.
Minnows.
So.
All right, somebody give a good question.
Good question. It'll be the last one.
End my suffering. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Have we really?
Oh, Jin's right now.
Gosh, damn.
Oh yeah.
It's 1 in the morning.
Why does Jin Lee suck? Well, that's a complicated question, and it's a complicated answer.
That's probably the players that don't like using Vincent and Sarah that say that.
What is your future vision of the global from this point on? Wow, that's a very philosophical question.
Time to get philosophical, guys.
Just continue to be better than JP. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right.
Everything that JP does terrible, fix it. Yeah.
He's having puppy dreams right now.
Oh, it's kicking.
Oh.
How about you, Rez, for that question?
Oh, just
Future for global.
future for global. You know, some more
Vision.
global first costumes. Like, I mean, you know, costumes, because everybody wants global first.
Rez is like, Square, take my money.
Say for Sephiroth.
Really?
Find more ways to take my money.
Say for Sephiroth.
I mean-
Make it happen.
Maybe some seasonal skins or something that some waifu skins.
Tifa beach
Give me some
costume.
skins, yeah. Tifa beach cod, like give me swimsuit
Let's go.
Tifa,
Swimsuit Sephiroth. Let's go.
like bridal Celis, like all of groom Sephiroth.
Yes. How about yourself,
Yeah.
40?
My future vision is for global DFFOO to keep doing what they're doing, listening to the player base, you know, making these awesome quality of life updates, and never adding PvP to this game.
Oh,
That's my future vision.
El Diablo.
As long as they do that, this game will continue to stay awesome. And like I said, other gacha games can learn from DFFOO.
Always.
I mean, like, I love like My Hero Academia, but the moment I saw like that game is just like PvP centric, it's just like, oh, nothing.
Not even Momo could get me to deal with.
Yeah, not even Momo.
Oh,
I
jeez.
still have to watch that anime.
Not another gotcha, guys. I'm doing Christoria for you guys. I can't do another one. Gosh damn it. Global. Yeah, no, as you guys have been saying, just let them keep doing what they're doing. Honestly, it's the communication, truthfully. You know, I know a lot of gotchas don't do that well because of the communication when it comes to the, you know, what community managers.
Community manager.
And the players. So just keep doing. I know they do a wonderful job. So I hope that they keep that up and just introduce, you know, some new things here and there, at least for the global side of the game, just to keep global players interested. All right, all right, guys. So that is it for tonight's podcast. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 8 of the Fireside Chat. Gosh damn, 8 episodes, 8 months we've been doing this. We'll have to do something special for our 1-year anniversary once we do get there. We're almost there, right? So.
Cosplay stream.
And Jin
Well,
face
yeah,
reveal.
cosplay
Jin
something.
face reveal. There we go. So, all right, guys. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. And if my fellow hosts would like to tell our viewers where they may find you, please go ahead and do so.
Jin Lee on YouTube.
And OnlyFans.
Yes.
YouTube, Discord, and Twitch.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Twitter,
Oh my.
and I said Facebook.
And Twitch.
And Twitch. Yeah.
All the social media.
All the social media. There you
Yes.
go, 40. And Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. That's it for me. All right, guys. So again, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you guys next month. All right. So take it easy, guys. Have a great night. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye.